Yeah. So, but today, let's talk about today, Teresa. We're gonna be focusing on delisting, relisting with our soul button. Okay. So, what does it do? Do we end these for people? What can be done? Can it be done manually? What's the difference of
Yeah.
doing it with List Perfectly versus going into each marketplaces and ending your listings manually? So, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be doing demos of how we end listings in multiple marketplaces. We can do this individually or in bulk now. So you ask for it and we deliver, as always. So Mandy, please enlighten us with these amazing features of delist and relist. Let's talk a little quickly about inventory management, because it goes, even though this is not inventory management, we have to talk a little about it, right?
Sure. Tell me what you had in mind with
Oh,
inventory management.
yeah, so the thing is that in order for us to keep track of you guys and help you with delisting and relisting, we need to have your listings saved on List Perfectly. So we cannot help you if you're not with this process that will save you time if we don't have that listing saved on List Perfectly. So that comes a little with inventory management. These webinars not about managing inventory, but it's about making you understand that we cannot help you with a faster process of delisting and relisting if your listings are not saved in List Perfectly. Do you need to save them? No, it's not. But in this webinar, we're going to show you what benefits, what is the benefit of saving your listings on List Perfectly, and why we can end listings simultaneously
Yeah.
from different marketplaces, and then make your relisting process even faster, smoother.
Yeah. So what Clara just explained is saving listings on List Perfectly. And I have up right now, I have a screen share. Teresa, you're able to see the screen, right? Okay. So this is a screen share of my listings that I have saved on List Perfectly. And so when you use List Perfectly and you create your listings or you import them and then export them, you monitor where your listings are, you save your item numbers on our site, and then we give you these quick links that will take you to the listings. So that's what Clara was talking about with saving the listings on List Perfectly.
Exactly. So, in another thing that we just did in order for not be worried, we all understand that budgeting is very important, and we don't want you to go into extra charges unless you need to grow and you have that extra money to grow it. So, what is important to remember is that sold listings and templates do not count against your catalog limit, and we just increase the amount of listings at no extra cost that you can save with List Perfectly. For example, okay, in the old days, I believe a simple plan was 20 or 30 listings, and now we took it to 100.
Right.
There is no additional cost, okay? Those listings can be saved temporarily or permanently on List Perfectly. You can delete them all today and then redo another 100 tomorrow. So we can help you with that. But like I said, today is just to give you a little idea of, that was the idea of inventory management. That is crucial to explain, because also goes hand in hand with just the feature that you just built of sales analytics, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, it does. So the thing to keep in mind is, even though we do have catalog limits, as mentioned, we do not count any listing that you've marked as sold on List Perfectly against your catalog, because we want you to be able to track your sales. And so, we've built a lot of features that you can take advantage of in business and pro subscription levels.
So let's talk about that, okay? So since we're talking about that, let's show people when I list, okay? I can get a listing from a marketplace to List Perfectly, and we automatically gather listing numbers, okay, for you. Can you show me? Can you share that, Mandy? Show me how it looks.
Sure.
Those listing numbers that we automatically gather from marketplaces. So it will depend if you're natively creating your listings in List Perfectly, or you're choosing to bulk import those listings. So you can do this process individually or in bulk, but if you scroll down and click to view or edit inventory item numbers, we can see how we automatically grabbed the eBay item number in Grail item number. And we would keep, in this case, if you natively listed, right, Mandy, in list perfectly, and then you cross post, we gather that automatically for you. But if you came from, let's say, eBay, Depop, whatever marketplace, you will have that one item numbers. And then if you have it listed in another marketplace, we let you add these item numbers manually, and then List perfectly knows where your listings are.
Yeah, and just to clarify that, what Clara means by that is you can import listings and then cross-post them out from List Perfectly. We will automatically gather the item numbers. But if you're new to List Perfectly, you've already in the past cross-posted to Etsy and eBay or Tradesy, you can get those item numbers and kind of combine all of your listings into one manually. We allow you to do this, so you don't have to delete listings and then redo the whole process again, because that's not the idea.
So yeah, can it be done? Yes. Okay, but okay, we're trying here to show you a way that you're gonna manage your inventory effectively, and in this way save time. So know, control where your listings are published, know where they are, get sales analytics. Okay, by the way, this is no additional cost, and at the same time we let you do this whether you started your listings natively in LP or you brought them from another marketplace, and then we let you add the other listing numbers if you want. Right?
Right.
Okay, so can we show, Mandy, why don't we go ahead and show? Let's do a demo. Let's do a demo of the of how this works with the sold button.
Okay, sure. Okay. So first we'll demo the sold button.
All right.
I have a video that I'll play for you because
it's COVID internet.
The internet. So let me get the right one.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is showing you how we can end, just because we have bandwidth limitations, but this can be done in bulk. We can end listings that you have active in different marketplaces. And we're talking plural here, okay? You have it listed, you're already in the game of multi-channel selling, your shop is in different channels. So now we wanna end, we all know that the moneymaker for sales, okay, is delisting and relisting. Why? Because new listings always get priority in marketplaces when it comes to promotion and so forth. So delisting and relisting is one of the most effective tools for accelerating sales. In the process of delisting and relisting, we're going to show you how to do it instead of manually going to different marketplaces, whether you sold your product or not, right?
Right.
Whether you sold it or not, maybe it's not selling and it's just stale. Come on, you need to you need to retouch it a little. So what we're showing you here, Mandy, is
this is the going into the edit screen and ending a single listing. And the reason that you might want to do this is to take advantage of the analytics that we shared earlier, because if you're inside of your listing, you have extra fields that you can fill in with the sold price that you got. You can say what marketplace it's sold on, exactly. And the date that it sold will be automatically filled in.
Yeah, and that data is crucial to understand when you're managing multiple channels. That data is crucial to understand which channel helps you the most and which audience likes your products the most. So that's great. So we can end listings in bulk now. That was a great feature that we just released. It was highly requested, and we can do it individually. You can go into editing a listing and do it individually and end it, or you can do it in bulk now, and that's just something big, so you can expedite your delisting and relisting process. So now what we can do is, so we delisted, okay, so we ended the listings in different marketplaces. Now we want to relist it, right?
Oh, I was going to show another video showing the bulk process.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right. More bulk delist?
Yep.
Okay, let's see this.
Teresa, can you see the video?
Okay, so we're selecting here 3 listings. We click mark sold, and there is a pop-up window asking to confirm if you want it to end. There is eBay asking the confirmation to end the listing. There is Poshmark confirming, and Tracy confirming that the listing was ended.
Yeah.
So simultaneously, we call this the semi-automatic process because it requires you guys to hit the sold button. But soon we're going to make that process fully automatic.
All right, so next video I'm going to share is what I recommend to do for delisting and relisting.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a few products at once. And
like that's the way we like it.
Just the way we like it.
Yeah. Several products. Yeah, and what we suggest here, we'll talk later, Teresa will help us, is when you do these delist and relist, to not have a melange of and become chaotic and keep organized. Try to do it by category. So if you're gonna do furniture or ashtrays, or I don't know, I'm just making it up, okay? Try to do similar products on the same category. So this will make your relisting process much faster than doing a melange of different products.
Yeah.
And if you have one of a kind, you can still pull them, you know, whether it's pre-owned or it's porcelain or it's leather, you know, you can get creative with the categories.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to explain is if you use the sold button, it's going to end all your listings that you've set up already everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the process for that. You want to end your listings using the sold button, end them everywhere, and then you're going to relist them again, make them fresh on all of these channels, which is not a bad thing to do. It helps your sales.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to refresh your inventory. So what I did in the beginning, I'm going to rewind this so I can explain what's happening.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I am clicking, those links there will open up your listings on each channel. Okay, so that you open up your listings across all of the channels, leave those windows open, and then click the sold button, and I'll show you why in the video. This is our recommended way of delisting, relisting. The video will show you it's going to go through the process of ending your listings, which is what you want to do. You don't want a duplicate listing, right? You want to make sure it's ended. So once the process is finished, then we're going to refresh those windows, make sure that they're ended, and then we're going to take advantage of the sell similar options on these marketplaces. Just about everyone has it. eBay has it. Tradesy has it.
Mm-hmm.
Etsy, all marketplaces have the option. Now even Poshmark, I don't know if you knew. Now they have a copy feature.
Yes.
So that you can easily relist. So we're now looking, and the listings are live after we've been doing the sell similar. It's going really fast, but now here it is. Here's it's ended, and I'm going to click sell similar. And I'm doing this for each one, even on Tradesy. Tradesy also has a sell another item. Have a similar item, sell another one. There's a couple little tricks that the video will show. For example, Tradesy, you can sell your similar item, but it's not going to import the images. So we have a way of getting around that, which we will show. Here we go. So Grailed is the same thing. They don't have a sell similar or copy. So we're going to just push that listing over to Grailed. But you know, I mean, it doesn't take that long to do your delist and relist on these odd channels. Like, you know, Grailed and Tradesy are unique channels. So it's still possible to take advantage of these features.
Exactly.
What were you going to say, Teresa?
I said sneaky because you were trying to use it. I love workarounds. I just think workarounds are great.
Yeah.
So one thing that we need to clarify is one platform is Depop that does not allow us to end listings. So you have to manually do it because it's mobile. The only way they allow it is with their mobile. So that's the only time we cannot help you guys with Depop. We cannot end listings on your behalf on Depop because it requires you to go on your mobile device and delete it. So please, it's crucial that you delete Depop listings from your phone before you release new listings and avoid duplicates. So this is a crucial process to avoid duplicates and accelerate sales. because anybody can accelerate sales, but you want to manage that control effectively.
Yeah. So now we're just wrapping it up. It's all, everything is getting relisted.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so that was 4 listings across non-standard channels, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing, are you going to talk about my favorite?
Oh, do tell.
Hybrid listings with eBay?
Yeah. So I just actually showed that process.
Exactly, but
yeah.
you didn't, can you just describe it, elaborate on it, okay?
Okay, so the idea of delisting and relisting isn't so that you push out a carbon copy of your listing every time, right? The way to take advantage of the sales accelerator, if you will, is to change things just a little on your listings. So what we recommend is when you do a sell similar, you can do a sell similar on someone else's listing if you want. If maybe someone went through and they filled out a lot of item specifics on eBay, you have
Very
the option.
abundant.
You do have the option of using sell similar. And so opening up a sell similar window. And just as I did it with the Tradesy, I actually clicked, what I did was I clicked on the title of this listing to open up the product page. And then you can click the eBay button in this case, because we're talking about eBay.
Yeah.
We will put all of those details into that open eBay listing window that's sell similar.
Exactly.
And we're only going to put the details that came from List Perfectly, but everything else, like the category selection, all the item specifics, all of those things will remain exactly as they are on the sell similar window.
Now, one thing that we need to mention about eBay is that allows you to sell similars of listings that of anybody's listings. It's fair game. That in the past used to be able to do it only from your own listings, but now eBay allows to do it from anybody's listing. So you can take your listing that you manually did in List Perfectly with basic specifics and details, and then merge it with this amazingly done and finished listing. It has all the details. This is available on eBay. So, and then you merge it and you have this super powered listing, which is my favorite way. This is how I sell my listings when I have products that they're not, we all have those products that they don't move, okay? So we need to put a little extra effort, okay, and describe it and cuter pictures, right? So this is it. This is how I was able to sell out my inventory when I have products that were challenging and they needed more exposure. They need more content. People want to understand the product better. People want to see more pictures, want to see more description, and this is the fact.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So, in the same process, you can also revise your listings. There's a lot of things you can do. Meanwhile, you keep all of your best quality images in List Perfectly. We can copy into almost any open listing window. And so we highly advise doing that.
Yes, that sounds great. Yeah. So what would you say, we talk about delisting and relisting. One thing that I want to mention is the best practices. Again, I highly recommend when you're going to be doing in bulk, please try to, even if you're one of a kind, which we have many sellers, or you are an Amazon reseller that needs to unload the returns, any kind of seller, just please make sure that you think of categories when you're doing this process so you don't get disorganized, because you gotta end listings in marketplaces and then relist them and make sure you don't have duplicates. So in order to do that, I just suggest you to think, again, by categories like furniture or electronics or clothing and so forth.
Yeah.
All right. And having said that, why don't we talk about the new pricing? Because I wanted to mention, if for those that are testing to save listings on List Perfectly to save time, don't forget we also just upgraded and reduced dramatically the cost of the upgrades for every plan. So now comes to a penny per listing. So that would give you inventory management, image management, and what is most important, the control of knowing where your products are listed and going multi-channel unlimited, right?
Yeah.
And so we took, for example, the upgrades. What we did is not only made them cheaper, but also made it increase the amount of listings that you can do per upgrade. So that was crucial for start helping our sellers to manage inventory more effectively.
Yeah, we it's like less than a penny an item to store your listing on List Perfectly. And that's a guaranteed way of preserving your photo quality. Again, we recommend listing first on List Perfectly so that we can preserve the best copies of your images. If they come from somewhere else, you know, we can't guarantee the quality, but it's less than a penny per listing now.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that, can we share, I want to share screen, and let's make sure, because in the past we were asked if the sold button on the sales analytics with them. So let's just share, okay, with the audience that we have sales analytics, like we were saying, but there is a sold feature in sales analytics, and I just wanted to bring this up because it will not end your listings.
All right, yeah, let me get that screen up for you.
Lovely. So let's see, sales analytics there. So every business and Pro Plan subscriber will have access to sales analytics. Now in sales analytics, we have the option to also mark listings as sold. Now we give you that option, but marking a listing as sold in analytics will not end your listings in different channels. One thing is analytics and another one is inventory management. So I just wanted to bring that up because we keep that capacity to all of our business and Pro Plan users, right, Mandy?
That's right, business and Pro, again, the way you get to sales analytics is to click on products here, and then there's a link for sales analytics, which will pull up your sales analytics screen. And this is a really handy screen. If you are a business and Pro customer, really recommend that you take advantage. But right here, I'm going to enable, I'll disable it just so I can show you. Enable inline edit.
Yeah.
And then when I click on one of the items marketplace option, right here would be your sold selector. When you use this sold selector, it will not delist across channels. Just note that it's only for your records only.
It's for accounting purposes. One thing is what you want to declare in your accounting status, and another one is your inventory management.
Yeah. So once again, enable inline edit. Let's just go to one that doesn't have sold. So I'm clicking.
Oh, I love it.
And I would just check off sold here.
Yeah.
And then I might just want to check where it's sold.
Yeah.
Maybe it's sold ungrailed.
Yeah.
And then click update.
Exactly. Just don't forget, if you sold this and you are in the habit of doing your data analytics first, just don't forget to end it in the on the inventory management screen. So that's just
here's a tip for, because I didn't realize this either till you showed it on one of your last webinars. And so for people that have a eBay store that have out of stock feature on, and I have that, I don't want to list my listings on eBay because then they go away. And so I started using this for my listings that I sold on eBay that I hadn't cross-posted yet, so that I could have the analytics, I could preserve the listing, because one of the reasons that I have out of stock on, even for my one-of-a-kind, is for returns.
Right.
So I have 30 returns. If somebody does a return, then, I just simply change the quantity. And so before I was doing it, probably more tedious, and you showed this. So I'm glad you showed it again, because I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how I have to do it.
Thank you for sharing, because nothing more tedious than relisting a return. Come on, we all suffer. It's just, come on, you don't have the listing and you want to die because you worked so hard for that sale that ended up in a return. You lost the shipping fee probably, okay? Or if you were lucky enough, okay, you won the case. So redoing the listing, whether you won or not, that's not the point. The thing is, that's a tedious job, and we can help you with that.
It's tedious, and the idea is to get it back up and on the marketplace as fast as you can. So for me, it's just as fast to change the quantity. And with List Perfectly, I can go pull it in there and then push it back to eBay, or push it to a different platform. I mean, as long as it's in List Perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. I have 4,700 listings. I have a little over 1,000 that I've pulled into List Perfectly, and you know, it's a process, but I'm all over it.
Yep. And you know, now having said that, I do want to mention if you don't want to use the sold button, in your case, Teresa, because you want to like you have an out of stock feature on your eBay listing. What you would do is in the video that I showed where I opened up each individual listing's link, you can very easily just choose the platforms that you want to mark it sold on there manually, but you don't have to hunt and peck for the listing because you're going to get, it's a shortcut. You click the link, you get right over to the listing, you mark it as sold. So
that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I wouldn't even tell you the 22 steps I was doing.
Yeah,
Oh no, we know.
Yeah. There's
So you go to
way.
login, then you go to listings, then you go to search. No, there is a faster way. I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
this
so-
could be done manually, but logging into List Perfectly, going to my active listings, then search for the listing, then exit, opening the listing, then changing it. No,
Yeah.
think about it. And I didn't even went thoroughly versus one click from our platform.
The light bulb just went on.
Yeah.
You just turned the light bulb on for me, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and we do have a feature coming out in the beta very soon where you can deselect the marketplaces that you don't want to market as sold on. So
Coming soon. Can you push it this Friday?
yeah, I think it's going to be included.
She said yes, people. News, breaking news. She said yes.
Yeah. So
All
it gives
right.
you a little more control with the sold button.
Wait. Marina Staples says, could you please share an info or link to your plans options? I'm just planning to expand to Amazon, Mercari, eBay, or just direct message. Yes, I will direct message you, Marina. I'm gonna take a picture of your question, and we're learning to be all pro here. So, and I will message you. Yes, I got you there. Instagram and Poshmark. Perfect, Marina. I got you. Yes, and you can see this. We have a chart, a comparison chart in our website, www.listperfectly.com, and we compare the pricings. But we'll take care of you.
All right. So we have a few questions.
All
Should
right.
we go through those really
Lisa
quick?
Kane, excited. Oh yeah, Lisa. Oh, it's amazing. Lisa already got a selling in Kittison. So yes, let's see if we didn't miss any questions. Did we miss any questions on the?
Liz has a question that says, I may be getting ahead.
Yes.
But could you please also cover the best way to end listings with multi-quantity, please, and multi-variation?
Yeah, you don't, with those, you don't want to end them. What you want to do is revise them on the marketplace. So what you would do is just like I showed you, you can click on the link that will take you directly to the listing.
eBay. Okay, you can click on the List Perfectly link without even opening. View my listings, and
I'll
you just
share
see
my screen
Yeah,
again.
let's do that because you go a little fast when you explain things. So let's share step by step. Okay. So we are on the are we on the right view? No,
that's
no,
okay. No. You can get there with analytics too.
All right.
There's a link here. So if I were to click this is the link that I'm talking about. When you are looking at this is the analytics page, but this is
let's go to the other.
All right.
Yeah, let's go to it just in case. Let's not mix it up.
Sure.
If we, my advice, if you're managing inventory, just do it from the inventory management window. I know we can do it from the sales analytics.
Yep.
When you get pro, we'll talk about it.
So you would just click on the item, the link that would take you directly to where that is on the marketplace. And from there, they normally have buttons like edit or revise or something like that. You would just click the edit revise, adjust your quantity. You don't want to end your listings with multi-quantity.
No.
You just want to manage, your quantity. So
unless you want to refresh that multi-quantity listing, come on, it's the same concept. Delisting and relisting with any marketplace, they all have the same algorithm pretty much. Algorithms are little formulas inserted in software that when we behave in a certain way, the software will behave in a certain way. So in this case, one thing that is common to marketplaces is that new listings get more visibility than stale or old listings. Old listings are not very well seen, okay, because they don't create traffic. That's it. They don't want to put money on things that is not creating traffic. So what they see is analyze for the first 2 weeks what listings are getting traffic, and then they push those listings. That's it. That's the secret of marketplaces. There is no other big secret. So that's why delisting and relisting is gonna accelerate your sales tremendously, on top of using this perfectly accelerator, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And so it's really up to you, though. Just take caution, because if you like on eBay, for example, if you have a multi-quantity over there, they're going to show that your sales history. And if that's important to you, you may not want to end the listing and relist it.
Yep.
It's up to you.
Exactly. It depends. Of every shop is different. Every situation is different. Wouldn't you agree, Teresa?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's, they all have different types of buyers. They all have different kind of stuff that they list. I mean, yeah, you just have to, that's why I think I was chatting with Liz, and that she's like, that's why she was learning Citizen before it was ready to launch, is with just 5 listings, is so that she could learn the marketplace and see what's, what kind of stuff do they sell there. Like, I didn't know you could sell mom clothes.
Yes.
I'm like, whoa. That's my whole
and
old
not even mom clothes,
wardrobe.
woman clothes. You don't even have to be maternity clothes. Woman
Right.
clothing can be sold on Citizen. That's it. So
that was news to me last week.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think every marketplace is different, and
yeah,
and that's good.
Yep.
See, absolutely. It's understanding the idiosyncrasies or what makes a marketplace particular. Now, Brittany Ballard has a question that says, when you delist, is there a way to keep what marketplace it's sold on? Great question.
Yes. So
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. So you can do this one of 2 ways. On the analytics page that we showed you earlier, when you click, you enable inline edit, you click on it, you can mark it as sold, and then just mark off the marketplace where it's sold on, and deselect all the other marketplaces. You could do the same thing if you edit the listing. Let's say you're on Simple Plan, you don't have the analytics page. Same process, you would just click on edit the listing, and at the bottom you're going to see your sold button and your marketplaces. Do the same thing, mark it as sold, and then only mark off the marketplace that it's sold on.
Exactly. Absolutely. And this is available with every plan.
Yeah. And so, having said that, I do want to make clear that when you use delist, relist in the way that I showed, where we're using cell similar windows, it is a little bit more of a manual process, in that we are going to mark it as sold, and using the cell similar on these channels, List Perfectly won't be able to get the new item number. So what you would do is go back into List Perfectly, deselect sold, and then add those new inventory numbers to your listing.
And this is with cell similar. It sounded complicated, people.
It's
Okay,
not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's just because of the cell similar feature. Those that are familiar with cell similar with eBay, this is a very particular feature of eBay.
And the reason you would do cell similar is because that's going to preserve everything that you previously set for that eBay listing or for that Poshmark listing, without having to recreate it. If you can still relist it in the traditional List Perfectly way.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Exactly.
I love having options.
Yes.
And I love having more than one way to do stuff, because we all do things different. We all have a different process. We all have different steps. And so I love that you give us more than one way to do it.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you,
Yes.
Teresa. That's a very good point, because everybody has a different way of doing things. We just want to adapt to your flow. We understand that what works for us is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So Irish Black says, thank you, ladies. I think she left the session. And then Marina again. Oh, yes. I did say that I would answer that. And then Lisa Kane says, yes, that's awesome. Thank you. I didn't even realize that I could click the marketplace. Smart. Yes, let's click list. Don't search. Don't go log into
No need to
eBay.
search.
Then go to your active listings. Then search for the listing. Open the listing, and then this position. No, we can help you with that. All right. Liz says to everyone, yes, that's what got me happy about it. I never would have been even looked at the marketplace. Had helped Peanut added it. She's talking about Citizen.
Yep.
Yes, so definitely that's happening this Friday for all of you that are attending this session. Brittany says, love the sell similar feature. Yes, it's a very good feature when you merge it with List Perfectly. And one thing that I want to talk about is when you're listing with List Perfectly, delisting or relisting, just keep in mind that in the relisting process, and I ask you to pull things into categories. Don't forget that marketplaces are getting smarter with artificial intelligence, like eBay. So when you are merging, whether it's a sell similar or you're coming from List Perfectly, let's say to eBay, artificial intelligence is already pre-populating a lot of data that comes because it's understanding what your content is being sent from List Perfectly. So this is another way you save time instead of listing. Sometimes listing from scratch in eBay can be a little tricky. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention with delist and relist, since we're talking about it. Brittany says, yes, options are great. Okay. Are you having another live session, a Zoom session today? Super session with 3 guests. Great question. It's not a Zoom session, Marina, okay? It's going to be on our Instagram, List Perfectly Instagram channel. It's going to go on live TV, and we'll see you there at 4 p.m. Pacific time. 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll be having our super seller session, in which we're going to have solid sellers that make 6 figures and more, giving you big tips. This is real things, okay? So we're very excited. All right. Oh, sorry, I got confused. No problem, Marina. Any questions are welcome. Liz, is my battery is dying. Okay, bye. All right.
So, and then there's one more question from Brittany. Is it possible to discuss or show an example of what the analytics look like in a report? I can show you, but I really highly recommend that you watch our other YouTube webinar that we showed the analytics.
We just did it.
Yeah, we just did it, and it's going to be a lot more information for you.
Instead of just showing you really quick here, we're wrapping this up now, but please check it out in our YouTube channel. You enter sales analytics and it will be there, I promise.
Yes.
All right. All right, let's wrap it up.
You guys did good answering all the questions.
Hey, one channel, that's easy. All right, until next Tuesday, we'll see you. We're having more topics, and have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.